Well, a new book by national best-selling author David Traher is giving a controversial look at personal finance. Joining us now with more is David Traher. Thanks for coming in, David.
Thanks for having
me. It's a pleasure
Mike.
having you here as you tour and present this book. You're from Toronto.
Yep.
The book is called Cash Cows, Pigs, and Jackpots. Very interesting title. We'll get to that in just a moment here. But I know your focus is on cash flow.
That's right. You know, when I originally started to think about writing this book, I thought about that old maxim that cash is king. And when you think about that, that's not really true. I mean, if you convert all your assets to cash, you make basically nothing on investing in GICs and things. And that's when it really struck me that cash flow is king. That's what it's all about. In our life, if we match our cash inflows with our outflows, we'll do well. And we've got to do the same thing in retirement. And it seems to me what a lot of people are doing is trying to amass wealth, trying to become millionaires, building their balance sheets so they buy huge houses and borrow to invest in the stock market. And that often ends up in a disastrous situation because they're ignoring plain old cash flow.
Okay, well, give us an example of what a cash cow is, a pig, and a jackpot.
Yeah, when I ask people, I say, okay, what do you think is the biggest cash cow you're going to have in your life? What's the thing that's going to bring in the most amount of money to your life? And most people say, oh, it's my job, or maybe my house when I sell it. And it isn't. It's you, or it's us. It's our own ability to earn income. When you look at it, you look at your tax return and think about the amount of money that you make over your life, that eclipses anything else for most people, like stock market returns and things like that. And that means that what we need to do is take care of ourselves so that we can work more efficiently, work longer, and obviously, hopefully, that's something we enjoy. Life is a process more than trying to get to this magical point where we can sit back and relax and do nothing all day.
Well, you're saying work for as long as you can, enjoy what you're doing, but then you make this money, you've got all these expenses along the way. How do you take these expenses, turn them into investments that are going to allow you to retire comfortably?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's where the pigs come in. I get people to think about, okay, before you buy anything, that's a house, a car, before you commit to anything, before you put anything else on your credit card, think about what that thing is. Is it a cash cow or a cash pig? Example of a cash pig is a car. You get a car, it's going to cost you every day of your life, right? So cash is flowing out of your bank account. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just going to cost you a lot of money. And most people don't think about that. The jackpot is where there might be a potential jackpot at the end. So, for instance, a car is going to depreciate. It's not worth much at the end. A house is a cash pig each and every day that we live in it and try and maintain it with a potential for a jackpot. That's the thing about jackpots. They're usually potential. They might happen. So if you're lucky enough to buy a house, it appreciates, and you can sell it at the end, you win. You hit the jackpot. That might not happen, though. There's a risk. All you got to do is look to the United States to see that doesn't always work.
Unfortunately, we're out of time. We could talk for an hour on this subject. It is so interesting and so necessary. We'll just wrap things up with a question that everybody has. When one retires, Canada pension, old age security, is that near enough to sustain you and your family?
Well, a maximum old age security in Canada pension will give you about $18,000 a year. If that's enough, you know, a couple of $36,000 for a lot of people, that is enough. Canada Pension Plan is a solid plan. It's got a $160 billion surplus. We can rely on Canada Pension Plan. Old age security is there. They're changing the rules because old age security is a cash cow to us, but it's an absolute cash pig for the government because it costs them a lot of money to pay out.